All right.
And
So,
yes, it did happen a couple weeks ago.
okay, so we are picking up in the Horrors of the Asylum series. This is the new Champions Protocol world created by Game Night, and we're using the Hero System mod developed by Brennell. And we're actually, I think this is our fourth or fifth session on this miniseries. I think it's fourth session on this miniseries. And the team has navigated, fought their way into an asylum that is the headquarters of a kind of a front company called Next Human, who is the team has discovered doing some type of genetic experiments, but also some tech nano experiments. And in the last episode, the team encountered a person or a super trying to escape from the, and I'm trying to get there so that everybody can see, but I'm up too high. They encountered a super named Blue Wave and had a really interesting conversation with him. And he has decided to help them try to clear out the the secret prison that's connected by a portal, a dimensional portal, and that's where the team left off, basically down at the portal in the basement where Sandcrab had done some investigating, um, and found a way to, not just Sandcrab but also Cypher had figured out a way to get through this portal. The commands using the keyboard here that's on the table. The team had sent through, Cypher had sent through one of his bots, and come back and kind of reported what this trans-dimensional portal looks like, and it's got robots in it, and a portal at one end and a portal at the other, and the bots look like they're not moving, um, but you all can see their eyes are lit and they're standing still.
Not
So
till we get in there.
yeah, right. Who knows? So the team knows that there are other people being held in the prison, and Blue Wave, because he was in that prison before, will tell you some of them are good and some of them are bad. Most of them are locked up. That's, the only people that would be unlocked would be people that aren't considered a threat, um, or have not proven that they, or have proven that they are not going to like try to escape. But the next human people have not really shown a lot of care because it's separated by a portal that's guarded by robots. So and the portals stay locked all the time. So the very fact that it's open right now is unique. So it really doesn't have to have that high a security, because it's locked by a transdimensional portal. With that introduction, we'll go down the list. This is not in combat phases, but we'll just go down the list of order. Nemesis, you're at the top. No, not you're not at the top. Oh, yes, you are. Nemesis, you had been spending time reading through the archives and just trying to research and find more about what was going on here. Are you going to change course? Are you going to accompany through the portal? What are you going to do?
She'll accompany everybody through the portal.
Awesome. So, are you kind of moving along? Are you right now? I think you're up in the second floor.
Yeah, I'm on the second floor,
Okay.
trying to back out of the.
Yeah. I think you can move yourself
It
too.
seems all the walls have become obstacles now.
Oh. Well, no, but they would have. It's only the ceilings that are not. So you probably just need to pick up your character. Okay, I'm going to turn off noise suppression and see if that helps with the breakup. Thanks for the word, Rampage. See if that has helped or will help. Okay, so Nemesis, you'll get a couple of actions if you'd like. You're moving down to the basement area, and
Yeah, I'm trying to move, get out of the room.
so while you're trying to do that, I think you've seen the area. Sandcrab is in it. What are you going to do when you get there? Are you just going to wait for the group? Talk to us about
Yeah,
what
she'll wait for the group. Look out for any manual.
you said. Look out for any manuals. Are you there still?
He did say he was looking for manuals.
I heard something about manuals.
I hope we didn't lose him. We lost somebody. Who did we
Session
lose?
failed.
Beast, I think you pressed your C key.
Oh,
Beast is disconnected from UTS.
okay. Well, Beast is going to be looking, or Nemesis is going to be looking for manuals on the way down, but obviously going to be making her way down. Nemesis is going to be making her way down into this this basement. We'll pick up next with Ghost. Ghost, tell us what you were doing last instead of me describing it, and what are you going to be doing next?
Ghost was had her nose buried in books, so she spent a bit of time packing up the most interesting books, namely the books that have the most pictures with words, and she's putting them in a box. She will fly down to join everybody, but she will have a box under her arm filled with children's books.
So you're going to make your way through the portal with books, just in case. That's great.
Well, she'll volunteer to go through first, but she's not going to initiate until other people have done so.
Okay.
Like said to go.
Okay, so you're not going to go in
She's not just going to go
unprompted.
through all alone, and maybe other people will follow her. She's
Okay, that makes sense. Next on the list, I have Windwalker. I know you're having trouble connecting, but do you want to talk to us about what Windwalker would be doing right now?
Let's see. So we are making a field trip into the interdimensional portal, if I recall.
I think that's what the team has decided. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, as I will join this, though, I'm going to be nervous and just feigning bravado the whole way.
Okay, so you're following the crew down. You're going to get in the room when you're connected fully, and just get ready to make your way through the green portal. Cool.
Right.
Okay.
There are innocents that need saving, as well as guilty ones. And
Oh,
Tarek will save them.
the hard part is going to be choosing and determining the innocents from the guilty. Okay.
Ooh.
I think Wildthing would be also joining. She seemed to be kind of connected with Faust and Blue Wave, and the two of them were wanting to go through. So we'll move her down. If somebody's willing to move her token down, that'd be great. Sandcrab, you're next on the order, and you were already in the room. Do you want to make any actions or do anything specific here?
Remind me now, did we get some feedback of what is on the other side of the portal?
Yeah. Cypher did some recon with one of his bots who went out, lost connection with them while they were in the portal, but came back and replayed video. And so basically you saw on video what you see here, and it's these, kind of smoky area bots with red glowing eyes, and they are not doing a synchronized dance steps. But my idle motion, I need to probably figure out a different way to do that. But this is what you all see for sure.
All right, well, he will plan on stepping through the portal first once we do go.
Okay.
And his plan when we do step through will be to step in and immediately tunnel underground, like straight down, but not so far, maybe 6, 7, 8 feet. And then if any of the robots approach the other members to attack, he'll grab the first one that comes within range with his stretch.
Okay, so you're gonna tunnel down immediately when you come through the portal.
Right. That way, just a little bit forward, maybe 10 feet in, and then maybe 6, 7 feet down.
So
that way, it gives us a landing place for the rest of the party.
Yeah, so the portals are up above the ground, so you got to jump out of the portal onto the ground. And when you get there, it's probably the first robot is 7 feet from the portal, or 7 meters, 7 spaces. So are you saying you want to come 10 meters out behind the first robot and then dig down?
Well, that sounds like great advice.
No, I was trying to interpret what you said. So you're going to try
You
to
know
jump
what?
behind it.
I'm seeing now, I moved my camera down to see where the portals were. So now that I see that the portals are up in the air,
Hmm.
I think I'll just drop straight down and tunnel straight below the portal.
Okay.
So when we do go in, I'll target that spot approximately.
Okay. That I think I understand what you're going to do. And are you sharing that with everybody aloud, like
Yes,
plan
I'm
who's
telling
left?
them that my plan is to drop down in front of the portal.
Okay.
If anybody wants to land next to the hole that I dig, if a robot approaches them, I'll grab it and pull it into the hole so that there's one less robot to deal with.
Okay.
Plan. Don't know if it'll survive contact with the enemy, but it's a plan.
Yeah, yeah, it's something. Okay. The next person on the list, the next person to act would be Cypher and his minion army. Cypher, what are you gonna do?
Minions to the rescue.
Oh, did you pick up Stevie, by the way? I had him next to the camera spot for here. I'll bring him over to the. Is Stevie gonna go in? Because
I have an old
here,
Stevie, not a new one.
I have Stevie for you in front of the portal right now. If you want to pick him up.
Excellent.
Yeah, Stevie's
So my
awesome.
screens are all in the hallway on the other side because that just has too many people in there.
I didn't fully hear everything you
But
said.
so yes, we will move through. I will send the. I have a question. I don't know how this would work, but I have cyberspace, which is dimensional travel. Can I dimensionally travel into Stevie and then control him and me stay here and him go through?
My first instinct is no, but I'm trying to understand even what you're asking to do.
Sounds more like possession or mind control, which don't you have that power
I
as
do.
well?
Yeah, you basically want to travel through Stevie into the um, into the portal.
Yes. But I know that when we sent Lindsay through, I lost contact with Lindsay, possibly because of distance.
Yeah, I think you maybe could take like an intelligence roll to understand what happened there, and have kind of an idea of what would happen if you did this. Are you able to make an intelligence roll? Is Cypher intelligent?
Not accusing of him of it.
Succeeded by 5.
Okay, I'm going to try something. Everybody is saying I'm the cause of the echo. I will see if I can fix it real fast. And for the record, it looks like Cypher is intelligent. Input device.
I never doubted.
Okay. With this being the input device, does it help at all?
Yes. No.
No,
What?
When
No?
you speak by yourself, it's clear. But when other people talk, we're getting reverb.
Grr. Okay, let's see what we can do. Multi-output.
Just let somebody else talk besides me, because I didn't hear echo just now.
hello, I'm speaking,
And
and
if I
I'm
speak
probably
with you,
echoing.
does it echo with you when I speak when we do this?
Yeah, there's still no. Your voice doesn't echo. It's other people's. Yeah, there's
And
still an echo.
Windwalker speaks now as well.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
So it's not me causing it, but there is echo.
Well, we won't rule out that you're not
Yeah,
causing
it could be, of course.
it.
Okay, so I'll continue to explain, and let's
It
just
does
try.
sound better now, actually.
Yeah, I
Yes,
changed.
somebody did something because I'm not hearing echo.
Fantastic. I changed my input source, so. Um, so I'll explain the way you think about this, Cypher. You with that intelligence roll, you feel like there's something different about this dimension that is going to prevent you from traveling electronically like this.
Connecting. Okay.
Yep. Yep. So whatever goes through can go through, and it's not gonna stop. Like obviously, your Fleetwood was able to record, so it obviously worked. But there's something about it that is definitely not. And maybe even as you get close to the door, you feel some type of different electrical presence. It's just a different. Maybe in that dimension, electricity works differently. Who knows, right? Okay, so obviously you've gotten to the room. You've got your minion army, or little robot army. What are you going to do? Are you going to follow the kind of the lead that Sandcrab has put out? Um, or you want to do any recon
Yes.
beforehand? Nothing different.
Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna follow through, and I'll have Stevie go through first, and then Lindsay, John, and myself.
Okay, so now that she's joined Wildthing, you are in the room. We assumed you were coming down with everybody else. Do you want to do anything, say anything before jumping through this portal that's open?
First thing, I want to apologize, one, for being late, and two, the fact that I am extremely drained and very tired, so I may not be, on my ball tonight.
We're glad to have you with us.
We'll make
That's,
you anyways.
Yeah.
Just
that
do you.
said,
So you had the bug?
I'm not that kinky. Anyway,
Oh, things that are recorded. It's
Ooh!
wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful.
I think she would probably ask if anybody was able to probe through the portal, ascertain its nature.
Yeah. And Cypher was able to before, and that's why you all have an image of what's there. He played a recording back where one of his devices did, so you all were able to see it. And it's these robots with red glowing eyes, kind of standing still. They're not doing synchronized dance moves together, but that they are kind of like standing idle. And that's what you see. The portals are up in the air, maybe about like five, what, 5 feet, 6 feet. I can't measure. Not 21 meters.
Okay. I want to, if I go through, I want to be one, flying, and two, I want to go through as quietly and as stealthy as possible.
Okay.
I don't know. All of us pouring through. I don't know if stealth is going to be much of an option.
It's like the opening of the phone booth and people tumble out.
Well, crawl out of this to crawl out, and don't try and limit your shadow on the ground and noise.
Okay, that's great. So everybody's going to come through the portal in the order that you've described. So Sandcrab, you come out first. Um, and do you want to try to be imperceptible, or are you just going straight down and digging, and who cares about sound?
No, I'm going to turn on my stealth field.
Okay, cool. So will you go ahead and move your character down, and when you get through, you immediately start to tunnel down, right?
Yes.
You are tunneling down, and um, the matter that you're tunneling through is dense, but you're able to tunnel through it. If anybody is like Minecraft, I know you are, Rampage. It's like mining in the Nether, and you're just able to tunnel through it. but it's endless. And you have spatial awareness, so you know it's just endless.
Okay.
It goes on and on and on and on and on, and it's nothing down.
Is there a ceiling above us?
No, it's open. So it's like it looks like dark sky above you.
It's the nether.
I did not purposely build the nether.
Are the robots that much bigger than us?
No, I'm trying to scale them down.
Yeah, I was just wondering that.
Could scale up too, you know.
Yeah, but
Dealing with minute.
everything else is right to scale, so I want them to be right. It's funny. Okay, so Sandcrab is down on the ground. Who wants to come in next?
Underground.
Yeah, not
I'll
down.
I'll leave the
right
tunnel
now.
open. Yeah.
Nemesis will go through.
Okay, go ahead and put your character token down. Are you trying to be stealthy at all?
Stealthy? What's that?
So that means no. Okay. Okay, so as soon as you hit the ground, Nemesis, the robots turn and look at you. And they don't say anything, but they turn to look at you.
Did they look at me?
I haven't gotten to you yet. Did you go in with Sandcrab? If you all came into the ground and you didn't do anything to be stealthy, yeah, they will turn to look at you.
Okay.
And I didn't do that for Sandcrab because he had a sound, like a dampening field on, and he just went straight down into the ground. Okay.
Well, Ghost has said that she would follow immediately the moment anybody went through if she was not the first.
Okay.
So she would be
Nemesis
flying
is
in.
going to turn on her magical eyes and basically detect, analyze magic, large group. She also has transdimensional magic.
Okay. Make sure to take the appropriate endurance. I know a lot of yours, these are like
Yeah.
taxing things for you. But you will notice that this is not magic.
Okay.
This is not magic. Okay, and Ghost, you made it through. How far through are you going?
Not all that far because she's not exactly sure where the robots are going to be placed.
Okay.
She'd probably fly in about 3 meters and fly upwards from the portal a little bit to get a good look at what's going on. She has night vision. She can see fairly well in the dark.
Yeah.
And highlighted against the dark, assuming it is dark, she is naturally stealthy without even trying.
Okay, yeah, that's true. So I agree. Go ahead and bring your character token over, and maybe bring it up and lock it up into the air where you would want, or maybe I can move it if you lock it. But basically, where she is, but just up a ways. Let me see if I can do it. So like up here.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay, cool. When you're ready to move her again, just let me know. They don't change their gaze to you because of your somewhat imperceptibility in this environment. You once you get up, like the others looking up to your direction, it's almost like they can't even see you, like because of your makeup. Okay. Who am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anybody? Windwalker. Did you make your way in, Windwalker? Are you connected again? Maybe, hopefully. I think you're having.
Keeps disconnecting.
Nope, still trying to get in. At the moment, it's at 0%. Yeah, I'm disconnected like 10, 12 times.
Disconnected you
Make
again.
that
Let's move you along then. Where do you
13
want?
or 14.
Where do you want to be? We will move you because I need to also move.
Yeah,
and Faust.
I guess just with the group near the back.
Okay.
Eyeing robot
Okay, we've got
carefully.
you in there. Yeah, they are eyeing you as well. So Faust comes in and goes up and says hi, shakes hands with, and you know I'm not role playing wrong for this because it's exactly what Faust does. Goes up and shakes hands with people. Okay, let me unlock this dude. Blue Wave does not float, but for right now he is. Unwillingly. Okay, so everybody jumps in.
That would be hilarious. A water elemental that can't swim.
Yeah.
He can float. He can. Okay, so everybody's made their way through. Quick, Cypher, does Stevie and all your Fleetwoods, do they make it through as well?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so you have a mind link with them or some way to always be in contact with them?
I can see through their cameras.
But it's something that's always on, or do you have to try to know if it's working?
I'm pretty sure it's always on.
Okay, so you know that you can still see through their cameras, and you know you still have a connection with them, but it is as if you are going through tin cans, right? It's a very noisy channel. I'm not going to make it to be an effect to the power or anything like that, but just for the special effect of it, you are navigating in an entirely different electrical plane to your minions.
So basically what you're saying is there's an echo happening?
No, but in real world, I guess that's okay. So you all are in this area, and the robots are scanning you, and they're looking at you. They linger on Blue Wave for a little while. Maybe they even take a step toward Blue Wave. This one does.
Mm-hmm.
And Blue Wave takes a step back because he's not wanting to confront them. And that one falls over. Didn't mean to. He's not drunk.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
The scale is a little bit off on some of the minis. I see Faust is way bigger than the rest of the party, and the robots are way bigger than any of us. What is the correct scale?
Yeah, so the map is the scale, so like the movements are right, but the robots are normal size. Let me just. Is there a way to get to the scale without having to?
Yeah, you just mouse over a figure and hit the plus button. Or the minus
yeah.
button.
I was just trying to do their one scale rather than. Yeah, I'm not going to try to fix it all right now, but they are the same size as you all. They are not enormous. Now Blue Wave is enormous, but Faust is not that enormous now. Okay, so what do you all want to do? So, I'll come back to the top of the order since everybody's in, and until we get into some type of combat phases, we won't use the battle manager. Nemesis, you are at the back of the group. Say again?
She recovers.
Oh, yes. How much recovery does she have?
She's got 10. She can recover 10 phase.
Okay, so you're just gonna like hang out behind and recover from turning on these magical eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, Ghost, are you gonna take any action?
Not until they initiate hostilities.
Okay, so you're not gonna move. You're just
no
hovering.
reason to precipitate.
Yeah, so you would only see the one that's moving toward Blue Wave, and he's just the one robot, and I guess these robots are feminine. So the one robot, she is stepping toward Blue Wave, but has not like made any. Did I just lose one of my bots? No, has not made an aggressive action toward Blue Wave. It's just coming toward him.
Ghost would be keeping an eye, especially on that one. If it initiates any sort of hostile action, Ghost will basically use a reserved action to do a passing strike on it.
Okay, cool. Windwalker, what would you do now that you're in the back of the group? I know you're not in the game yet connected, but tell us what you would do.
Let's see. There's not any real action yet, so I'm just gonna hold my action, I think, and follow along.
Okay. No, totally understood. Wildthing, do you want to do anything specific?
Yeah.
Uh, I was just going to follow down into that hole.
Okay. So you would come down, and Sandcrab, how far are you digging down? Are you going to continually dig down? Are you stopping somewhere?
Just 8 feet.
Okay, so you just kind of jump down into the hole with Sandcrab, and it's just some feet down, just out of view.
Yeah,
It's
and
nice.
the minute I do that, once I've done that, basically, I'm going to see if this place has any living beings on it, i.e., heartbeat time.
Oh, yeah. Just the heartbeats
Listen
of
to your
the.
heartbeat.
I've lost
Get my
control of
ET up in here.
my character sheet.
Oh, Nemesis, is that right? Is who was speaking?
Yeah,
I'll reassign it
Lost
to you.
control
Let's
you.
see if you can get it now, because you came back out and back in.
I can't move it, nor can I
Oh,
click to end.
okay. This happens when you move the user interface off the screen and back on the screen. I know. Like if you've taken it off the screen to see better. Um, and I don't.
Okay, well, I took it. I moved it over the chat.
Yeah, it may be that you have to actually get out of the game and back in, um, because you won't be able to use any of the features of the hero mod when it locks up like that.
All right.
And what I've learned to do is just keep the hero mod screen in a single spot, fully visible, like your
Yeah,
character sheet.
I wanted it fully visible. It was just I had it on the other side of the table, and people's hands kept on getting in the way.
Mm.
I'm sorry, and the only way to do it is to out and in. Um,
Yeah, I just did that.
cool. Wild Thing, you've jumped down. It's cozy in there with Sandcrab. Anything you want to do or say, or are you just kind of sitting in the bunker?
I'm basically looking, turning on my heart
Oh,
heart
yes.
sensor.
Yes, I forgot that.
Yeah.
No, there are
I,
no
I,
other
I have
heartbeats
a
other than the
I
group.
have a question.
Uh-huh.
Wild Thing, your sense for heartbeats, what is that based off of? What sense?
I will answer that question as soon as I can.
The only reason I ask is since the stealth field that I have activated has a like 2 meter radius or 1 meter radius. In the hole, if you jumped in right next to him, you're going to be silenced. You won't be able to hear or talk.
That's
Oh, you can
interesting.
talk, but nobody will hear you talk.
It's a detect on heartbeats, and I guess it just depends on the special effect of it.
Well, how does your thing work?
It's darkness versus hearing.
Why did I do that?
Yeah, how does your power work, Bald Thing? Is it by hearing heartbeats, or is it some other mystical where you just
Hold
know?
on. Yeah, I gotta open up I have to open up my sheet. What's the most recent one?
I
Well,
strongly suspect it's hearing.
yeah, we'll come back to it too, because I think that's a cool way to understand what happens, like even to role play when you come into Sandcrab's, silence field. Um, but once you get to the answer, just let me know. Cypher, you and your minions are on the floor. What you doing?
I am going to get the Fleetwoods to fan out to see. Like, there's another portal here. Is that correct?
Yeah, directly across. It's parallel in height. It's about 20 or 30 meters away.
Okay. Um, so I'll get the Fleetwoods to give me a view of the whole area as much as they can, and I want to reach out with my mind control and see if I can control one of these robots.
Okay, which
Ooh,
order is that going to happen? You're going to have the Fleetwoods move up and around? How far are they going to move around? You mind just maybe moving them into the area where they're going to be? Okay, so are you moving past the first robot? If you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm on push to talk, so no, Lindsay's not good. Neither of them are gonna pass the robots at this point.
Okay. I don't think Faust would have gone up to say hello, by the way. That was a joke. Okay, so they are moving about unaffected, and obviously you see the clear view of this dimensional pathway, and this kind of surface area goes on endlessly in every direction, before and after. So, like, obviously, I have the scene set for a couple of panels, but this kind of look is what it is, endless. It's infinite.
Okay, it's kind of scary that way.
Yeah. Because you all just came out of this portal, and then when you stand behind it, there's nothing behind it, right? It's just two portals in the middle of endless space. Okay, so your
So
Fleetwoods
there's
are
sort of like a guard zone to stop people traveling between the two portals. Maybe the next portal is where Blue Wave was being kept.
yeah, and Blue Wave would have told you a lot about that. This is a pathway, right? And that you got to get through the other portal to get to the prison. That's the way it always happens. But they're always guarded with guards, like human guards, when they go through. Um, so he doesn't know what's going to happen here when you try to pass through without guards.
I have an answer to your question.
Oh, about how you sense? What's the special
Yes.
effect?
It's an unusual group. It is attached to all my senses. It's
Really?
attached to my B sense, and that's attached to all sense groups. The touch, hearing, sight, smell, yada yada yada, fill in blanks.
Okay.
I could touch the ground and feel a heartbeat if I wanted to do it that way.
Yeah. So I would say you.
Smelling a heartbeat would be a really weird thing, but hey, it's superhero world. What can I say?
Yeah. So you have a general sense.
Yeah, I think those would be the powers of LSD, man.
You definitely don't hear it the same way you would when you have audio, because that's typically the way you would hear a heartbeat first, just sensing them like wave.
Yeah.
But you definitely
But
know. You still
I
sense.
do have to roll. I do have to roll because it's linked, which means it only operates when I do I activate my perception, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. You want to roll perception? Don't. I mean, it's not going to change, except that uh, you're going to hear everybody. Now, if you don't hear everybody, it might freak you out. Like you don't hear someone's heartbeat. Okay. Yeah. So again, you only hear the heartbeats of the team. No other heartbeats
Team.
in this portal. It's muffled because of the dampening that's coming from the hearing, so you don't hear them. It's you like feel these heartbeats.
Okay. So yeah. So there is no living, or if there is anything down here, they don't have heartbeats, or there's nothing but us here that lives.
Yeah, it's a good assumption. Um, okay, so the team, you all have spread out. Even the robots have spread out, but you're still at this line before you were crossing past the the robots. Is anybody going to make an effort to come across the line? This is Red Rover moment.
I was trying to do mind control on one of the robots, the one that over here by Blue Wave.
Okay. Okay. And what did you roll?
Nemesis advance slowly, but while recovering.
Okay.
Good, I hit a DMCV of 3.
So of 3?
Yes.
Okay, so you do hit.
I do hit. Okay.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
Trying to make the thing move over towards one of the other robots.
Okay, it will. It's moving toward Blue Wave, and then all of a sudden it turns to the right, and then starts to walk over this way. And you can kind of see it just continuing to walk and walk and walk and walk. And right now, at the end of its turn, it's going to be kind of this direction, and it falls over faint.
It fainted.
I think it's because of the idle movement that it makes. I don't want it to faint. Don't faint. Okay. All right. So you are able to command control of this poor soul, non-soul, technical non-soul. All right. We're not in any battle phases yet, so I'm just going to kind of free for all going around. Sandcrab, I think I left you there in the hall. Do you want to take any action?
Seeing that they're advancing, but they don't seem to be attacking yet, he's a little bit thinking that maybe fighting these guys would be not as good as just avoiding them and darting for the portal. So he'll
Problem.
since he has
If
immunity
we're
to his
rescuing
own.
people on the other side of the portal, if we are rescuing people on the other side of the portal, they will have to come through this area. And if the guards are still here guarding the area to prevent them from leaving, then they won't be able to do so.
Okay, yeah, I see your point in that. Talking a little bit,
True, but taking them
OOC.
out might alert somebody on the other side.
And on top of that, maybe there are some of the not normals on the other side of that portal that we don't want to get to our world, where these guards would actually be working for us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So Sandcrab will turn off his. No, I can leave the stealth field on because I can still radio to everybody. Sandcrab will say that I think we should dart for the portal. These guys don't seem like they're worth the fight, and they can help us stop any hostiles from getting to our world. We can always take care of them on the way back, and we don't know that we'll be coming back the same way. So, what do you guys think? With no
Sure.
delay.
I agree completely with your assessment.
Does anybody need to be carried through the portal?
We haven't actually tried to move past the robots yet. They may attack us if we try to go to that portal.
Well,
So
Ghost can fly two people through the portal, one in each arm, in a single phase.
Nemesis can leap.
And truly, these robots are not going to like as you all sit and talk and kind of chat through this in real time. The robots are not progressing at you. The one that had eyed Blue Wave is moving toward the other robot and will ultimately end up being, over here. So you all can, in real time, figure out how you want to proceed. And now you've kind of basically got two robots on this side.
All right. Well, if Ghost is going first, Nemesis will follow.
No. Ghost needs to know if there's anybody who cannot get through the portal on their own power, because it's floating above the ground.
Yeah, y'all can talk it out for sure.
well, I can't fly, but I can teleport. So, like, how high above the ground is the portal?
Yeah, they are good. What? Hold on a second. See if I can get it. Is that right?
All right.
At least 10 meters, right?
I'll take my delayed action.
Nemesis has got a 30-meter.
Okay. Sandcrab, you got take your action?
Yeah, I'll zero phase power, drop my stealth field, and say to Wildthing, putting out his hand, want to lift? I'm going for the portal.
I think Wildthing, or you still, I think you flew down. I think you can fly. I think everybody can get across, right? Either
Yeah,
flying
I
or
can
portal.
fly.
Right, but if I carry her, she'll have full action when we get through.
Ooh, little savey save.
That would be acceptable as well.
Okay. He'll put one arm around her waist, climb out of the hole, and leap through the portal. However, he will expect and anticipate hitting the portal as if it's closed because he's not sure that he'll be able to get through. And I just want to be ready for that impact. So he'll make sure that Wildthing is not in front of him, but behind him instead.
I'll actually scrunch up so that I am presenting less of a drag on his leap and allow the absorption of impact.
Okay, so I'll play this out. So y'all are the first two to make your way through this portal and this other portal over here. And as you do it in a single phase, so you're able to jump and move and roll through, and you all immediately see a prison. It's dank, it's gross, it's nasty, and I'm going to put it on the screen in just a minute. So you all make it through that portal. It's not closed. You were bracing for impact, but you really just kind of roll through to a floor that's just kind of dank, is the best word that I can say. But as you all do that, these robots clearly power on and are, in battle mode, and you all can clearly see, that they are in battle mode. So we're going to go into combats. The two of you all are in another place, and let me just let me get that set up if you don't mind for just a second.
Sure.
Okay. It's going to take a second to load. Okay, so as you all roll through, and I don't know when. Tell me when you all see the prison rampage and Wildthing, but this is where you all will end up rolling out of the door. Y'all see it yet?
Oh, it's yeah, it's a relatively small place, no?
I see nothing.
It's a big asset.
It depends where you're looking on the map. It's a new feature. It's it looks like a two-story building. It's the interior of a prison. I mean, it looks like a prison interior.
Uh-huh.
There's a portal on one end.
So Wildthing and Sandcrab, if you all will place your tokens at that little spot underneath the stairs of this prison, and
Underneath
then
the stairs there? Okay.
so that
Let
will
me
be
go
where
grab my stuff.
you all just kind of rolled through, and that's where you are.
Okay. Oh, I disappeared
Nemesis will
from where I
jump through
was. Where'd I go?
What's that?
Nemesis will jump through next.
Yeah, but there will be opposition for you since the first guys moved through. So we're gonna be in battle phases now.
All right.
I'm happy. Okay, underneath the
You want us in the little green area
here. Uh-oh. I can't get underneath the stairs.
Oh no.
Okay. If you give me the gizmo tool or you give me rights, I'll move us under there with the movement tool.
Got me promote. Thank you. Okay, let me get everybody into the battle phases.
I'm officially giving up on loading TTS.
I'm really, really sorry, and I don't know what to do about it. I'm gonna.
Would it possible to just close down and open back up and see if that helps?
I think he's tried.
I rebooted my entire PC.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
No,
the
I
table.
was talking about the table. Yeah.
I'm not sure. Oh, you mean on his end? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's up to you guys.
Yeah, let's say, well, yes, yeah. Well,
That's
Windwalker, why don't you close the table down?
no. I've already got everything loaded in the system and the setup, like even
Okay.
the notebooks. I'll press the buttons for you if you're okay with that. Are you able to see? No, you're not even able to see. Maybe we can stream for you so that you can.
I was about to say.
That's not a bad idea at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I should have thought to even look for the stream since you usually do.
And actually, I didn't stream this time because my stream keys messed up. So if somebody doesn't mind streaming to the Discord, so you can see. I'm still recording, so we can show it later. My stream key got messed up. Is anybody able
Somebody
to?
else. I don't know how to do that. So.
Anybody?
Just share your screen.
Give me a second, and let me see if I can remember how you do that.
I'll see if I can do it too, because I think I can do it.
There we go.
Are you able to see it?
Cool. Yeah, I'll try and load it in a second here.
Oh, we
I'm
got
also
somebody else
grandfathering.
No, you do it because I'm using a lot of bandwidth already to run it. So I'm gonna stop streaming if somebody else wants to.
Yeah, I'll stream.
Cool.
Okay, I'll close mine down.
Okay, so
Can you see it?
okay, so we're in the portal with the rest of you all, and these bots are now triggered on. You can see that they are scoping, and they maybe even one in the back corner here fires a blast at the portal that they just went through, but just misses Wildthing and Sandcrab. But they are definitely they're definitely on and targeting you all now. Okay, Sandcrab goes first. Sandcrab, what do you do? You're in the other room, and I'll say that's your turn to get into the other room. Sorry, I just feel right to give you another action after you got the move. Cypher, you go first.
Yeah, seeing it great now.
Cool.
Okay. Can I control the robot to attack the other robot?
That is a pretty dire action. Having him move is one thing. Having him attack, if you're going to have to roll really well, but you can attempt to. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Hit a DMCV of 5.
Okay, so you hit. I'm going to try to get to my. I have a useful.
32.
So that's exceeding by 22. Let's see useful charts. This is mental mind control table. You target will perform actions he is normally against doing. Target will believe any statement. So these robots don't typically attack each other, but they also don't have some affinity toward each other. I'll say you have the ability to make them attack each other. They don't have a violent, so the plus 30 is violently opposed to doing, but these are not robots with moral ethic toward each other.
Okay.
So let's say plus 20 is cool. So this one is attacking the other, and he will do it on its next phase.
Good.
Okay, you got a Fleetwood. What does your Fleetwood do?
I will have the Fleetwood move through. I'll have both Fleetwoods move through the second portal.
Okay, so place them over there. You lose contact with them, but they're through. Okay. In the prison cell, as you all move through, there is a lady that is standing in the way, not in the way, but she's right at the edge of the stairs, and she speaks in very Wildthing-esque voice, and it is kind of grasply and says, "Who are you and what brings you here?" Very forceful, very authoritative, authority in her voice.
We're friends of Blue Wave, and we're here to free the captives of this prison.
Hmm.
Now you're on the speed chart too.
Say again.
Now you're on the speed chart too.
I don't follow.
You said now we're on the speed chart too, like in join the fight.
And now I'm going to whisper over the comms just for the team. $5 says she's the warden.
You can't. You actually can't hear them or communicate with them. You wouldn't hear any of this because they're in a different dimension. So when they went through the portal, you don't hear anything that's happening.
I thought I went through the portal.
Not the second portal.
Oh, okay. So never mind.
Yeah. So they're in the second portal now, and so you say that, Sandcrab, to this lady, and she says, um, uh, I've never known you before, but I do know Blue Wave, and Blue Wave is a good man, but if you get in my way, you won't last. She's clearly threatening.
That would depend on what your goal is. Are you looking for freedom, or are you looking to keep people here prisoner?
She says, I am making my way out. This door is green, and it has not been green without guards. And she says, we are leaving.
And I will step up. Oh, well, it's not my turn, so I can't do anything.
Oh, you can zero.
Unless this interaction is open?
Yeah, this
okay.
is speaking.
Okay. I would suggest that you do not do so. Though there may not be gods here, what we passed on the other side will probably trump any mercenaries you might have that might have held you here. Allow our team to deal with them.
She chuckles, and she chuckles and says, "This is happening because of me. I can make my way out." She's laughing, maniacal almost. Ha ha ha! This is all because of me. They think they control us, but they can control us no longer.
I want to see. Okay, is there such a thing as sense motive in this game?
I don't think so. You could structure a power to do it, but it's not just a part of it. And
Sounds
okay,
like
so it'd be, I'm sure there probably is a skill.
Deduction would be a good skill.
Shoot.
She takes her turn.
Sandcrab has deduction on a 14 or less.
I actually do have deduction, and I know it's not on my sheet. No, I mean it's on my sheet, but it's not. I never sent you my new sheet, right? Crap. I never sent you my new sheet. I know there's something I keep forgetting with this busy. Everything's been so busy. I knew it was something I forgot to do. Oh well.
As she's laughing and talking, she's making her way under the portal. And in her next, you can see she's about to walk through. She's about to walk through. Yeah, and please be careful there. I think you've got the table. Okay, so that was her turn. Wildthing.
Well, flipping the tables. It is my turn. Okay.
It is your turn now.
I look at her. You say that you know Blue Wave, and he trusts us. Why don't you give us the benefit of the doubt? Wait here until what's on the other side is dealt with.
We're not planning on dealing with what's on the other side. We'd agreed en masse to all go through the other portal and leave these things here intact.
Right. So Sandcrab and Wildthing don't know what's going on back there.
Oh, and can't hear, and you all can't hear what they're saying whatsoever.
Seems to think we have a different plan.
Okay, actually, my character would still say that. Actually, my character would still say that for totally different reasons now.
Yeah, and this lady will say, "There's nothing you can do. I am walking through this portal," and she will push aside, or if you step in the way, she's gonna try to get past. She's going to go through.
Actually,
fight! Get the money.
Thing. We're here to help them to freedom. Let them go.
I'm not stopping her. I was about to say.
This is about to be a fight. I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm gonna let her go through, but take note of take note of her features and the like.
Yeah, so she is.
She gives off, even though she said nice things about Blue Wave, she's giving off a very negative feeling toward in Wildthing's mind.
Yeah, and even the way she comes across is maniacal. It's almost like she's, maybe not split personality, but she's definitely like got tics and weird things about her that left. She jerks and herks and her
Oh,
skin.
Yeah,
really?
So
Oh, okay.
and the light.
She's not going through. She's not going through this phase though. She's going to go through her next action.
That's right. That's right. Her phase move was to get to that spot on the door.
Great.
yeah.
But
This is
she's.
mine.
Yep.
I'm going to and hopefully I can move without, it's not working. I'm going to move to the. Do you need? Can I? Good. I can get to this part now. Good.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, that's outside.
But you can once you're.
Come here.
Yeah, and you can shrink yourself down a little bit to be able to.
Got it. Got it. I got it.
There you go.
I'm when I move to here, before I say anything, I am going to do another heartbeat detection.
Yeah. So you hear all kinds of heartbeats, probably 20 or 30 different heartbeats, all up in different cells and places. Clearly, you see these two. One dude over here that's standing, he's twice the size of a normal human, and then there's one guy over here that looks almost like a rhinoceros blended with a person, but he's glowing. And the guy that's standing over here, that's like a huge person, all of a sudden you start to see him glowing with fire and he screams at you.
I hold up my hand. I am here in peace. We are here to help all of you. Remove
Leave in peace.
yourselves from this place. At the same time, I'm going to send a message to Socrates telling him there
Yeah,
may be a woman leaving out of the
you
asylum.
you
Take
can
note of her.
it's a dead
It
air.
doesn't go through.
And you hear
Yeah,
it.
I know it doesn't
No.
go through, but she's going to make the attempt anyway.
Okay, cool. The guy responds with a scream, and you can maybe even hear singeing and burning. He is not paying any heed. The other guy's hands are glowing and green, and there's a roar from his. He says whatever he says. We will destroy you and all that are here. None of you are good, or whatever. He says something more coy than that, but he is entirely confrontational to you and is seething with green energy all around
Okay, and the last thing I'm gonna is going to be another vocal thing. We need Blue Wave in here now.
him. Okay. All right. Go back to the other, the transdimensional pathway, and Nemesis, it's your turn.
Nemesis is going to super leap through that second portal.
Okay, so they're going to try to make
Got
an.
50, got 54 meters of leaping.
Yeah, so this one in the back is going to take a held action toward you, the one in the far back. And as you're moving, I'm trying to think if he's got even any benefits.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. So this is bot number 4. I roll 2 hit.
He's leaping to or flying to interceptor.
No, he is aiming at you with a
Shooting at me.
yeah,
All
shooting
right.
at you. A DCV of
6.
so he hits a DCV of 4 or less, or she hits a DCV of 4 or less. So it does not hit, but a blast of energy comes in your direction and misses you as you make your way through the portal, and you
All right.
tumble in. I think make a dexterity roll to make sure you don't hit, because you're going to be tumbling into people standing in front of the door. Okay, yep. I will say that as you fly through the door, you immediately see these people and you're able to right yourself. but you're not going to have a good DCV against them on your first if anybody's attacking. Now that may not likely be, but it's almost like being surprised because you don't know what you're coming into. Okay, so that's your turn. Stevie, what does Stevie do? Amaraka, are you speaking?
Sorry. Must remember to
press.
Hold the button.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to have Stevie get through the portal when I go through the portal. So I'll ask Faust if he can get me through the portal.
And Faust could grab you and go through the portal together.
But you're not going to have him go?
No, he's going to go. He's not going to stay behind. But it's not his turn yet. So basically you're going to have Stevie wait or hold a turn until you go through.
That is correct.
Okay. Left click to hold for one phase. All right. So Windwalker, it's your turn. What would you do?
All right, I'm still trying to figure out where I am and who's with me. I know I'm between the portals, and I know there's a lot going on the other side of one of the portals. I honestly have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, so you actually wouldn't
technically,
know. Yeah.
Technically, we don't know that.
Well, what I mean is, I think at this point, Windwalker honestly has no idea what's going on. I mean, is anyone else standing in this between portal space with her at the moment? That's one thing that I'm not sure of.
Yeah, so you've got...
No, Nemesis just leapt through from one portal to the other.
And Faust is still...
I'm sorry, who did?
Nemesis.
Nemesis.
Okay.
But you still have Faust, Cypher, and Blue Wave in the portal, in the interdimensional pathway with you.
Okay, and they're not doing that. I don't think they've been doing anything that I can tell. All the action's been with
we're still technically on segment 12.
Yeah, it's all
okay.
starting, all the action's starting.
And I'm gonna wait.
Okay, so you're not going to try to make a move or go toward the portal or anything?
I don't see anything to act on.
You could go through the portal.
Yeah.
Oh.
You do have some of your party there.
Okay, I thought that was done a while ago or something, and
nope,
we were all hanging. Some of us were hanging back.
No, they're taking.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, they're first.
Then I will go through the portal and follow everybody that's gone through there. Yeah.
Okay, so as you try to make it, are you going to be teleporting through the portal, or how are you going to do it?
Yeah, it's make me an eagle roll.
Give me just a second. Let me see if I can do it.
Thanks.
Okay. So an ego roll is you succeeded by 5. So very, very successful.
Okay, then I'm gonna try and teleport through.
Okay.
Can you teleport to a place you can't perceive?
You can. It's a blind teleport.
Yeah. I'm teleporting to the other side of that portal. So yeah, it's technically blind.
Okay, so this is interesting actually. Because
Nemesis is right on the other side.
Well, no, actually, because Windwalker is not physically going through the portal, she actually just appears on the other side of the portal physically here in the abyss. You see the other side of the portal, but you did not travel through it.
Interesting.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? You didn't.
So where am I? Am I still on this side?
Yeah, you're still like when you are looking past it, you are just like in front of you is just utter darkness, but you see the glow of the circle portal behind you, and you clearly know you did not go through it.
Darn.
Yeah.
So is there any obvious way to complete the journey?
You would. Well, I'll make it I'll make an intelligence roll for you.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just rolled really well
Wow,
for you.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, you
Sweet.
realize you are not gonna. Maybe the only way for you to do it is to portal into the middle of it physically, and then just fall into it. Maybe.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah, that's obviously on your next. You just did your move, so
Okay.
yeah.
You don't fly, do you?
Only I literally ride the mind sword like a sort of like a broom. Or well, I
But
do
is that
acrobatic
actually
stuff sometimes.
But maybe that's the way to do it. Like get up to it, you portal up into the
Mhm.
air, and then just fall into the open portal.
Okay.
And that's because obviously you couldn't teleport past it or through it.
Okay.
Okay, interesting.
XD travel is on my buy list anyway. I'm just working towards that thematically.
Okay, so portal bot number 1 turns its gaze toward portal bot number 2 and unleashes on it. And does hit it. And roll 2 dice. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to be able to roll 2 dice. It's not bad. So this this bot blasts this one back, and it flies back over this way and flies onto the ground. And you see it. I'm trying to think. 11 body, 43 stun. 11 body. Yeah, you see a piece of its arm and a piece of its kind of middle piece and break off and kind of shatter to the side. Okay. Portal bot number 2 is going to right itself, stand back up, and that will be its phase. Portal bot number 3 is going to get up off the ground and fly and stand in front of the portal. Basically blocking any attempts. So it's just hovering, it's flying now up in this way.
Oh, okay. Is it able to actually block the portal?
No, it's just standing in front of it. It's just going to get an opportunity to block anybody. The same thing is going to happen to this one. It's going to come over here and try to block the portal too.
Very cool that they're flying.
Yes. They are awesome. So they have just kind of flown up, and it's like they are just kind of hover. They don't have blasters or anything like that. Okay, Ghost, it's your turn.
Really? She's got a dex of 13. She should be moving pretty much last in the phase.
Yep, you're right before the last person. Blue Wave comes after you.
She'll reserve until after Blue Wave.
Okay, that is cool. So we will left click to hold the phase. So Blue Wave is going to act. And Blue Wave is going to turn into water form. No, I didn't get the right Blue Wave. I have one that actually, I fixed it. And actually let me do it because I've spent a lot of time fixing Blue Wave.
Very cool.
Actually, it's not the right one. This is the right one. Good. So Blue Wave is now too small, but
He's tiny Blue Wave.
yeah, no, he's not. He's okay. So now he turns into elemental self. It's a 0 phase,
Yeah,
and
okay.
he does a water blast at the one that is standing or that's flying up in this high area. The one that's in the front.
Perhaps he
So
was
this is
Blue
where we're
Ripple.
fighting these things.
Say again?
Yeah, he was Blue Ripple before.
Okay, so this is, what is that? 17.
We're amused.
So he is going to have a 17 to add distance to it. 17, use the range modifier, -3 to hit. Baby Blue Wave. So who does he hit? Oh my gosh, natural 3? That's awesome.
He
So
hits whatever he wants.
he hits whatever he wants to hit. Water blasts come through him, and I think he's actually got a water blast effect. Yeah, but not at that direction. Hold on a second. I want to see it happen.
He sends that water blast directly up
Yeah.
someone's nostril.
So let's see if he actually rolls it. So he's blasting, and he does 50 stun, 14 buddy. I'm going to turn off the... So 50 buddy, or 50 stun. So let me do that 2 die damage, or move him back.
Does he knock the robot through the portal?
No, he actually goes back to a different direct 6, so 8. And then whenever you are flying, do you do 2 times, or is it 1 less die?
It's
One less die.
So I'll do it different. Yeah, that's awesome. So he is gonna go flying back. The robot is going to, and he is. Let me do that real fast.
What is that? 13 meters of knockback?
Yeah. I'm gonna push him way back here, and that body damage. 14.
If he hits something.
Yeah, and he's not. He actually is just floating in space over there. But you see portions of this robot blast off and break off because of the water damage, the force of the blast from Blue Wave. And Blue Wave, like, under his breath, damn, I've always wanted to do that, because he's never been able to attack these things whenever he's been coming through. Okay, it is the end. We've got some held phases here of Stevie and Ghost at the end of segment 12. So are y'all going to try to do anything, or are we going to lose those and go into the next recoveries and things like that? Or do you lose those after the end of segment 12?
The weighted?
I didn't think you would lose it. You would only lose it if your next
No, because you
phase
can hold
came
it
up.
over to 1.
No, the rule is if you delay through post segment 12, you don't get a recovery. If you give up your delay, then you can have your recovery.
Okay. Y'all want to keep your held phases? I don't think y'all have spent anything.
No, if we've initiated combat with the plan of actually destroying these things, then Ghost is going to actually stick around and try and destroy these things. Because this is obviously now a change of plan. And if we all fly through that portal and leave Blue Wave here, Blue Wave may be fucked.
Yeah. And Blue Wave is definitely engaging with them because they started fighting after Nemesis. So, I mean, he's going to stay here. Like, he's totally engaged in this.
Well, this one here has been damaged previously.
That's right. This one is the one that's right here is being mind controlled right now, and it's going to keep firing on that one. But yes, this one is
Ghost will assist in its destruction. She will fly down, hit it with a passing strike, and then fly back to exactly where she is, just so
Okay.
that I don't have to move her.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so make your that bot did stand up. It took its face to do it, but of course you're going to hit it.
Yeah. I hit a DCV of 13
Yep.
for this much damage. As soon as it bothers to roll. Very laggy. There we go. 17 body.
Yeah. 9. Okay, so you see pieces of it broken off, just obliterating it. It's still, kind of like standing somehow, but it's in pieces. Now, roll the knockback to see how far back you knock it.
It is not flying, correct?
No, it's not.
Tumbling through space.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no, it's 5. So it's 12 inches of knockback.
Yeah. Okay, so it's going to go back really far. I'm just kind of estimating over here. And when it hits the ground, because it would fall just into the ground there, does it take any additional damage? And I don't think any of it's going to get past its defenses, but I don't want to rob you of the opportunity to destroy this thing. So that 12 meters falling back onto the ground, would that have additional damage?
Yes, half the dice.
Okay, so it's 6. Gonna roll those additional dice. I don't think it's gonna do enough body. I don't think it's gonna do enough body to hurt it.
I doubt it. I've been known to roll hot, like there.
Yeah, but it doesn't get past its resistance defense. So
Okay.
It's on the ground. That portal bot number 1 is. Okay. And Stevie has an opportunity to act if he wants to.
Right, so he's going to move forward, and now these are obviously robots, right?
That's right.
Okay, so I'm going to use my wall breaker, which is a killing attack on the
one that's flying right in front of the portal.
Yes.
Okay. Robot, mano y mano. What's the range modifier on it? Oh, I don't think it's going to matter with that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and roll your. Ooh.
Oh, I had Stevie move closer to him as well. So
yeah, how do you? Let's make sure that when you actually do it, it's target. I think it'll hit from there. Yeah. You roll your dice. Do you see the effect on your machine, or is it coming through?
Oh, I'm seeing an effect.
You are?
Yeah, a lightning effect. Cool.
Yeah. It is cool.
this attack is penetrating. So it does 7 body, 7 stun. So if it's penetrating, does that mean it does 14 body?
No.
No, it's
it means that despite its defense,
It's guaranteed to do 14 stun.
It's a killing attack with penetrating.
Man, it does 7 body.
Okay.
minimum of 2 body despite its defenses. So if it had a defense of say 20 resistant and you hit it for this amount of damage, unless it had the defense against penetrating, 2 body would penetrate. 1 body off of each dice.
Unless
fair
one of
enough.
them rolled a 6, then you'd have an extra additional body.
Yes.
yeah. So that is what will happen. Obviously, the 2 body is going to get through because it's the body that's rolled on the dice, right? That.
Yes.
Okay, and then knockback.
1, 2, 3, 4. So this is portal bot number 4. Okay, roll your knockback. And you would do 3 dice for this.
It's flying, so you only roll 1 die.
Well, but it was a killing attack, so it's now 2.
Oh yeah, so that would equalize 2 dice. You're right.
How many did you roll? Total of 14. So you're not going to be doing any. What was that? 2 dice or 3 dice that you rolled with?
That was 3 dice that he rolled. Should have been 2 dice.
Yeah, but even if you take off 6 or whatever, it's still going to be.
Yeah,
It's not. He's not going back anywhere.
Right. No knockback.
Okay, cool. So Stevie unleashes this electrical blast at him, and it, wraps around the robot, and it, you can see, pieces of the robot are starting to fry, but the robot stays upright and hovering in front of the portal. All right, so that is the end of that phase. If anybody wants to take recoveries, we are in post.
Done.
We are in turn 2, segment 1. Turn 2, segment 2, Sandcrab goes.
Did
All right.
Faust not do anything?
Oh, did Faust not do anything? Oh, sorry, Faust. I think Faust would attack, and Faust would probably try to attack the same one that is that Stevie is attacking, because obviously Faust is trying to
I
get.
was thinking Faust would be worried about us and come through the portal, but if they need more help, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's in the middle of his way now.
Well, Faust was supposed to grab me and help me get through, but if that guy's in the way, then we may need to take him out first.
Where is Faust in this thing? Do I not have him on the table? I think I didn't add him.
I don't think you added him, no.
Oh,
Where? Now I gotta go find him.
huh.
Faust V2. See, what can we make Faust do? Okay. So in that moment, and I'm going to give him a turn because I didn't, but Faust would have, let's say he does an energy blast against it. And he misses. Oh, no. No, he would miss, actually, even with because he is not moved. Terrible shot, Faust. Gosh. Okay, so Faust takes a blast attempt, but misses at this guy that's standing in there or hovering in the middle of the portal. Okay, so now segment 2, turn to Sandcrab.
Right. Before you leave, could you let me know, he says to the woman who's about to go through the portal. And as he's saying that, on his HUD screen, he'll activate 4 of his nanite tracers to attach to everybody in this room. Who the people who control this prison are any of them still here? And what is outside of this building?
Oh, she's so annoyed with you asking questions. And she says, there's nothing outside this room. Miles and miles of empty darkness. Look out the windows and you will see it. It's darkness forever. And she says, next human is the ones that control this prison, but um, she says they no longer control this prison. They were in control until I disconnected it. If you're speaking, I can't hear you, Sandcrab.
Oh no, he finished his questioning.
Okay. Yep. So she will move out. She jumps through the portal. Green door. And she is now over here and lands on the ground.
Thud. Superhero landing?
Yeah, very, very powerful. And actually, when she lands and when she leaves, it's with a flash, kind of like a shadow disappearing through the door. And she physically walks through it, but when she comes down out of this thing, instead of falling, she kind of shadows down. Looks like shadow moving. Sandcrab, I don't think you took action. Oh no, you did. You put the things on the people, right?
No, it's not an action. It's just a declaration. It's sort of like a zero power, zero end, turning on a power type thing.
So who did you put it on?
He's basically
Her as well?
on all the people that are in this room.
Okay, so that included her. Okay. So your little devices are kind of like zooming around and connecting to them now.
Correct.
Okay. So do you want to take a
Implant? They're implanted.
Do you
If
need
if
to
there's more
roll to hit?
soliloquy to be had, he'll. What about you two? Are you two with her, or are you freelancing?
So are you moving around so they can see you? I don't think that they would see you right now.
Yeah, I'll move forward so they can see me, because otherwise it would be a little disconcerting.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Um,
Move over to.
they say we work for no one now, and they're screaming, and it's like guttural, just grotesque sounding anger. We work for no one. And of course, we don't work for Julie. That's what they call her. They'll keep monologuing. We would have once worked for Next Human, but we hate them. Everyone hates them here. We work for them. They've
Are you
imprisoned
looking?
us. They
Are you
torment
looking
us.
to try to return to your normal lives, or what's your plan?
Yeah, they say we will destroy this building. We will destroy the Next Human. We have no lives to return to. Next Human destroyed our lives, and so we will destroy. They're furious. They're enraged. Even.
Well, then it sounds like we're allies. Destroy the building away. I'm not here to stop you.
Well, they're gonna bypass you. They're gonna try to get out as well, of course.
Oh, what happened to destroying the building?
No. They mean that they're gonna destroy the asylum.
Oh, gotcha. Back the building back on Earth.
That's right. That's where they're gonna try to get out now that it's open.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So they're gonna make their way. They're not gonna be able to move entirely yet, but they're just gonna be trying to leave. This guy.
Hopefully, they don't start destroying the portal on the other side first.
Yeah, I'm gonna have this guy. I can't get him moved properly, but he's gonna be in that way, walking over. So the next turn, they'll get to the door.
Okay.
Okay. Do you gonna do anything? They would have moved. I just don't have them on the map. Okay. So are you holding this action?
I'll save my last half action. Yes.
Okay. Right click for half phase action. Cypher, it's your turn.
Okay. So I guess we're just going to. Wait a minute. Who's this other woman? Where's she come from? Hello. I'm going to try some reverse psychology on her. The portal that you just came through leads you back to where you want to go to.
She says, "You fool! I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm going now." And she's moving forward. Obviously, on her turn, she will move forward. Yeah. And Blue Wave screams, "Julie, these aren't the bad guys. Don't hurt them." And she screams back, "Don't call me Julie anymore. Reggie, I'm Isbatha."
Mothra?
Gesundheit.
Isbatha. I no longer go by Julie.
I'm going to blind her.
Whoa. You're making her an enemy?
That's so rude.
I don't know who she is. I am neutralizing her.
You think you've just turned her into an enemy.
Excellent. Gives you something else to fight.
That's awesome. Okay,
I'm not
DCV
going
4.
to fight a prison escapee.
Okay, so you are hitting against a 4.
Area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're going to obviously hit the area.
This is a 10 dice 6 flash coming up.
Good lord.
Yow.
Okay,
So it's 9 phases.
okay, and let me see something real fast. Make sure I don't have just an enormous amount of flash defense on this person. Side arm. Okay, yeah. Luckily, and actually, I'm a. Oh, sorry. Yeah, she's. What? Tell us the special effect of this, if you don't mind.
Oh, so it creates a cone effect of a great big flashlight in her eyes. It's a flare generator.
Okay, so she definitely is blinded by this, and it will be for what, 9 segments? Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. She says, "You fool! You will all pay!" She's screaming maniacally and twitching. You see her. "Why would you blind me? I'm trying to escape."
I have no idea.
Okay, even though she is blind, she is going to act, and she is going to attempt to um, leave. And what she will do is disappear and will reappear in front of the where she thinks this portal is. Now that she has been looking at it, she is going to try to target it. Let's roll maker. And so basically, and what do y'all think? This is a blind teleport, but she was just looking at the place, and she's going to teleport to the place.
I'd give her an intelligence roll to see if she remembers accurately.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Her 25
Should be
intelligence.
should be minuses though.
Yeah, she definitely remembers exactly where this place is. I'll give her maybe a -3 on the roll. How about that?
And she succeeded by 3. So
Well, that was the intelligence roll. So let's see if she actually hits on that spot with a -3. Yeah, she would hit a 3 or less, which is the phase, which is the hex, even with a -3. So she disappears, reappears in the middle of the portal, and disappears into the portal because she has come through these portals many times before. As she is going through, you all feel disruption in the dimension that you all are in. There is, when she passes by, it's like there's a whole disruption in the temporal and physical, makeup of this dimension. She does pass through. That's kind of a cool shadow effect. I'm gonna get a photo of her because I think it's cool. Blue Wave asks you all, Have you all ever heard of anybody named Isvatha?
Ghost certainly has not.
Never.
No.
Anybody got superhero knowledge skills?
Oh, actually, yeah, I've got
I do.
that listed on my sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to make your superhero rolls?
Okay. Let's see.
Superpowered scene 11 or less.
But are you in the room with them right now?
I'm across the second portal.
Okay, so you would have seen her. Yeah. So if you want to roll it and try to remember this person.
Yeah.
All right.
Cypher, you
Let's
didn't make
see
it. I think
here.
you had some hero points though. Let me see how many you had left over from the last time.
I don't think I've used any yet.
I'm not going to use a hero point on this.
Okay.
Neither am I.
And actually, I don't think
11.
you have any because you used them all last time, Cypher.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, Nemesis can't remember her for anything.
Nemesis has also been out of circulation for a few years.
Yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Windwalker, did you make your roll?
I'm trying to remember exactly how much the roll is.
I don't know if I have your.
Do you have his character sheet? You can look at it.
Bringing it up now.
I have it over here, so I could just go to skills, right?
Okay. So
Pop culture, Native American tribes, pre-vanishing heroes, 8 or less.
8 or less. Okay.
Yeah. You want us to roll it for you?
Just put it in Discord. Missed it by 3.
Okay. You could use some. You have 5 hero action points if you want to use them for the skill room.
What the heck? It's one of my unique skills on the team. So
Okay.
let's use 4 of those.
Okay, so you succeed by 1. Minus 4. And you remember this person because of how feared she was
Oh no.
in the world before the vanishing. And this is Isvatha Vahan, the Conqueror of Worlds.
Conqueror of Worlds?
Yes, I think that is her formal name. Conqueror of Dimensions.
Okay.
Yes.
And we just made her an enemy.
Yes, she is probably one of the most feared.
Okay.
You know.
So in character, I'm going to do the old hand to the forehead and go, oh my gosh, the Conqueror of Worlds, shit!
Taking a wild guess and saying you don't say the S word.
Well, it depends on the campaign's actual tone. I mean, there might be editors that'll take that out before
yeah,
it
the
hits
comic
print.
code. It's a PG-13 comic, so we're okay.
Well, 13 would allow shit.
Yeah, you can say it.
On a PG-13 film, you get 1 fuck. And any other
you just
word
used
you want.
You just used it. Well, okay, so obviously the group that's in the prison doesn't know that, but anybody that would be in the interdimensional portal would hear you say that, I'm assuming, or even the comms. So, Wildthing, it's your turn back in the prison.
Okay.
And these guys are making their way toward the door. The flaming guy and the cursed green guy. They're kind of running toward the door, trying to make their way around you and everything.
I look at Sandcrab disquietedly, but realizing that at this point we're just gonna have to keep tabs on them because there's others in here. Clearly, not all of them have gotten out of their cells. And I turn to Sandcrab. I'll take the upper area. You take the lower ones.
I don't see anything left inside these cells. We can look for any type of evidence, but I think, it
There are
looks
at
like
least
just
30.
cells.
There are at least 30 other living souls in here.
Yeah,
Are there?
I don't have them populated in the cells.
Oh, then Sandcrab wouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
Just a metagame.
Yep, totally agree. You would have spatial awareness known as well. There are people.
Right. So there's more people here to free.
Yeah, and you got keys last time, Sandcrab? Because I think you searched in the drawer and picked up the keys.
I don't remember that, but if you say I did it, I believe you.
Yeah, no, I specifically remembered it because it was important to this. So yes, you have a ring of keys that you carried with you.
Not that the locks would pose a much of a problem for
Yeah,
any
of
of us, I think, but
Of course.
yeah, I'll divide the keys in half and give half to Wildthing and say, let's free some people.
Oops. I don't believe I did that. Okay, how do I? Yeah. That way.
So
Come back here. You've lost the game.
So
Okay.
So you all are not going to try to oppose any of
No.
the people leaving. Are you going to try to do
Those
anything
two?
to determine if there are good and bad people here?
Other than using our skills, I don't see why not.
I will target the rest of the people that are here with tracers.
Okay. And do you have just unlimited amounts of ability to trace? I mean, I don't.
Basically, yes. They're nanites that get attached inside them, and if they use a let me see what it's called. Hold on one second.
Intense magnetic field?
No, if they use a high-tech scanner or some type of nanite detection technology, or if they become dissolid, then the nanite falls off of them and I can't track them.
Yeah, I remember game
Any
night.
chance you could miss with those things?
Well, the way the power
Yes.
is, it's a detect.
The way the power,
Yeah.
it's bought in an unusual way. It's detect a large class of things, tracking, megascale. So it could be that they're too far away that I can't detect them.
Well, and game night asked for some of those limitations, so I'm not. There's no, and for a game purpose, this is cool. So you're basically going to say you're tracking them, and unless you all are going to act differently, you're going to just open the doors and let everybody out. Am I misunderstanding that?
That's
Yeah.
basically my intent. I mean, I had expected Blue Wave to be here to help us choose who's bad and who's good. So I might want to say, hey, we're here to help you and see what they say. And they say, all I want to do is kill. Well, that's probably a bad guy, so we want to stop him.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm going to judge the three who were already out and gone. Not much could do. Would just end up in a battle, and she was hoping that the others could detain them on the other side. In fact, she's going to assume that they can detain them on the other side, not knowing that.
Right, and since we kind of consider
But the
Blue
one
Wave a good
still.
guy, and she said, hey, he's a good man, we figured, she must be good too.
As for the ones still in their cells, yeah, I'm going to basically observe them, see how they act, see what they say, to ascertain whether or not they should be let out of their cells at the moment.
Okay, so that means you're not just immediately going to open the cells. You're going to take some actions, maybe even some role play offline to figure out who's good and bad, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is the other aspect of this, that whatever we unleash here on the world, if it's like, dominator of the world, well, that dominator of the world has to take on Dr. Destroyer. So in a way, they're our ally.
Fly in the ointment.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That's an interesting thought.
Or at least an ally.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the other people still in the transdimensional portal. I'm going to wrap up there as well. So these guys, since I know you're not going to block them, I'm going to bring them over to the interdimensional portal or pathway, and they drop through. So you all see this dude, and I'm going to get the other one. So give me just a second. Where is the big dude? And
Nemesis can use her super powered scene along with the library to up a roll to determine who's who of who we're opening these doors up for.
Yeah. So, this is like you're talking about your knowledge of superhero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and make your rolls, and we can do some wrap up actions here. And Wildthing, or excuse me, Windwalker. I don't mean to skip by you, so let us say the next person would be Nemesis.
How many rolls do you want me to make?
So this is a phase action, actually still in battle because
Okay.
you've got robots all around. If you want to do this while you're still in battle, you're only going to be able to do one because this is
All
like a
right, that's
split
fine.
second.
First one made by one.
You do not recognize them. In fact, you're almost certain that this is some created creation. This is not a known superhero beforehand.
Ooh,
Whichever.
should I have a second roll then for them?
What's that?
The second roll for where is it? Magical artifacts, the created.
Yeah, they're not magical. They are. You would assume mutant just because of what you've been seeing happening in this place. They're doing
Oh,
genetic mutations.
never mind.
Yep. Okay. So I would say that's the split second action. You did a skill on your phase instead of attacking. And that brings us to nobody. Oh, Sandcrab actually, who had held a half phase. Were you wanting to do anything else before we go on to?
I think he would move to the closest cell where there's a prisoner and ask them if they want to be freed.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. Let me out. Oh my gosh, I've been in here for I don't know how long. Did I hear you saying, Blue Wave? He's a good dude. He's my buddy. Reggie? Yeah.
Well, excellent. He'll find the key to unlock the cage and tell them there may be enemies on the other side of the portal. They're blue robots.
Oh yeah, those things. They're
Need to get rid of
terrifying.
freedom.
He says, but every time we go through, we're always being detained or dampened, or so we never get a chance to go after those guys. So he's, he runs off and runs toward the portal.
All right.
I think I'm
When
gonna.
he moves to the next cell, he'll say, "Friend or foe of Doctor Destroyer."
Oh, and he will say, "Is Doctor Destroyer back at it? It's been a long time since we've been out. Some of us haven't even been out in years." Um, he says, "But I'm no friend of his. He's a
You're free to go.
okay." So everybody subsequent is going to say, "No, I hate Doctor Destroyer." Okay, so I'm going to take us out of the combat mode, and I think it's after 10 o'clock Central Time here, and I think what we'll do is pick up next time in this interdimensional portal.
Cool.
I think generally you all would be able to handle these bots, these robots. If you all want
Yeah.
to role play that out, we can battle it out. We can, but we can also just hand wave it and say, "Hey, you all destroyed these bots," um, because I think you all were seeing that you were able to handle them, right? The
Are these portals controlled by computer?
You have not attempted to assert that or not.
That was going to be my next action.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to make some type of a relative skill roll to do that, or power, or whatever?
Sure. So, skill wise, I have lots of skills to do with computers, but can I detect any computers here?
Yeah. Again, it's like talking through a
I'm
tin can.
I'm searching around. I'm looking around the portal, the one to get us back to
Uh huh.
our world, And if there's something there that I can interrupt it or pause it, because all these people coming through, I have no idea who they are. So, and
Yeah,
I'm not privy to what's happening on the other end, and I don't know whether it's such a good idea to let them out.
yeah. So I'm trying to understand what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to like sense if the portal behind you is computerized.
Yes, yes.
I think the way your powers work, you would be able to make an intelligence roll. Right? Your powers, it's almost like maybe you would do a mind control of the portal to probe it like
Okay.
you would any other thing. And if you target
So,
to hit it, then you can get like just an intelligence check to see if you understand what this thing is.
okay. So, do you want me to make like a cyberpathy attack roll?
Yeah, just to target the portal itself. Yeah, so you lock onto it, and it's moving in the kind of the electrospace or the sphere, and you're connecting through it through distortion, just like it is when you talk to your minions. Make an intelligence roll if you don't mind.
Ooh, failed by one.
Yeah, and you don't have any hero action points left from last time because I have that you had used them. Um, you don't understand what's operating them, but you definitely are able to connect to them.
Okay. So, can I try to do like mind control to um, stop it from functioning?
The portal that you came through to get into this to stop it from functioning, or the portal
Yes,
that
the
people.
one that goes back to our place.
You can, yes.
Oh dear, here goes.
So you're trying to close the portal.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to close it. I just want it to um, not allow anybody to pass.
Isn't that closing the portal?
Well, closing means that I'd have to reopen it. I'm just wanting it to pause.
Can you put a force field over it, like the iris on Stargate?
Yeah, because
Sure, if I had a force field.
if you make it to where nothing can pass through it, that means that it is closed. Like it's not able to pass. Things aren't able to pass through. I'm not understanding the nuanced difference between still being open but nothing can pass through it.
And I strongly suspect if you close that portal, you will also lose your link to the computer system that allows you to keep the portal open or closed, whereupon we will no longer have a way home.
Awesome. Make new characters.
The whole thing starts over.
I did have one in mind.
Yeah, I think even just you would know closing that thing down is basically closing the portal. So you've targeted it, you've exceeded its ego by 27. So you can try to control it, the portal.
Can I have it shunt people back to here? So they try to go through, but they'll end up back in this space?
If I mean you can tell it's like mind control. I mean you can attempt anything.
You better double check whether or not you can easily undo that.
So basically,
I am the master of computers. I can do anything.
yeah. So you are basically going to tell this portal to reverse loop. When you go through it, you basically come out the one on the other end.
Yes.
Okay.
Send them back to the prison.
Hold on. Are you going to send them back to the prison, or are you just going to have them come back to the interdimensional pathway?
Just back to this pathway.
Okay. Okay. So let's see if that happens. We'll pick that up in the next episode. Anybody have any other kind of wrap-up actions they want to take?
Oh,
No, just
I'm good.
Okay.
Ghost finishes off the robots.
Yeah.
think I'm
Yeah.
okay. I was between portals or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So I think same thing. Blue Wave is going to be just waylaying on some of these robots. He comes close and he just like punches them with a water fist, and he is just letting out all of his aggression on them. And the
Express that I have one of them mind controlled, so please do not attack that one.
okay, so he doesn't attack the one that's kind of not doing it, the one that's still standing, Portal Bot 1. And then Windwalker, are you going to try to portal through that final one physically like you were intending?
I am honestly not sure at this point. Let's see. I have no idea what's been going on inside the prison. I did see Isvasha, or whether however you pronounce it, go through,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'm gonna hang. Yeah, I'm gonna hang here with Blue Wave instead.
Okay, so the guys, the firefighter and the curse guy, when they come through, Blue Wave bows up to them and is going to confront them. So they are not going to be able to make it through unstopped. Not with
Okay.
not if Blue
Oh,
Wave can say anything
Unchallenged.
about it. Yeah, he is definitely. You all cleaned them all up, and then these two guys come through, and Blue Wave says, "What do you think you guys are doing? You guys have caused more hurt than anybody in that prison. You don't deserve out." And let's say that's where we end it. Anybody got any questions or things you want to clarify?
Fight, 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 fight.
No.
I'm good.
just between now and next week, Nemesis would go through and just take a look at everybody, see how they rate on her superpowered scene
Yeah. So,
skill.
and I'll just tell you, those two guys, this
Mhm.
firefighter and the cursed, even in the seconds, you will know that they are like you've never even heard of them before. They're no, they're not superheroes that were known whatsoever. And that could be
All
just
of these
because
people are the results of their experiments.
that's right. That's right. And likely have been only in the last 3 or 4 years created, and then whenever they are not in use, they're put back in this dimensional prison. So it, it would be conceivable that.
No word gets out on them.
Say again.
No word gets out on them then.
Yeah, but even if it would, it was before you were uh, in your stasis.
Mm.
So like they were created during a time, maybe before the vanishing, but when that happened, they weren't. They were in the transitional portal, right? So they weren't affected. Okay, I think this was a
Thank you,
interesting.
game.
Yeah, thanks for playing. I guys had a lot of fun, and I missed playing with you guys last week. I'd get back together. 3 experience points for everybody, and if you do another journal, you get a 4th experience.
I think I'm gonna spend my skills becoming more useful than I thought.
The knowledge superheroism.
Yep.
You hit the books.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cool. Thank you all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was supposed to show. It was supposed to be my DC for her anyways, and then she's realizing, wow, this is nobody else knows this. I'm gonna.
It wouldn't work
gonna
with my
put a lot on
character's
it.
back. It wouldn't work with my character's background.
Bet you would know all about these, popular superheroes.
Yeah, it's just something.
Yeah.
It's just one of her hobbies as a kid.
Cool.
It's
Good.
as a matter of fact, the this is connected to the way she was worked in another campaign. If you look at her costume, that diaphanous shirt she wears on the outside used to belong to a vanishing hero who just said, keep it.
Oh.
So like basically she's wearing one of her idol's old uniform pieces, and
Oh, cool.
it's the
Nice.
thing on her outfit that is actually bulletproof.
Huh.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Very cool.
That's cool.
Okay, guys, I'm going to give in to my exhaustion.
Yeah, thanks for playing, and we will see you guys all next week.
Indeed.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot.